So directly in front of us is 47th Street, and so that's what the home is off of. Just to give you an idea, these are the apartment complexes that are across from 47th Street. They're a little bit better off than the ones that were just directly across from the other home. And so just in terms of quality wise, you know, this neighborhood is very, very similar to the other one. It's just, I would say it has a little bit more upcoming neighborhood and has a little bit more of space in between everybody. But we're heading down 47th Street right now. Everybody on this neighborhood takes care of their place. I showed in the video, and we'll drive by the house here really quick. There's one place that kind of has a lot of stuff stored out front of the home, and so they're about the only ones I could tell that kind of take the no HOA covenants to heart, and they do leave a lot of stuff out front. But here we are. There's 617 as we're coming across. So you're tucked in pretty far into the neighborhood, so you're not going to get as much road noise, and you're not near the apartments or anything like that. And so you're tucked far enough in, and Loveland's a great area, so crime, everything like that is really nothing to be worried about. Here's that home I was talking about where they have the old U-Haul out front, and they just have their lawnmower, quite a few cars, and working materials. But everybody else in this neighborhood's really taking care of their property. Looks like a lot of people are starting to do updates to their properties as well, and making them nicer, making the exteriors a little bit newer. Most people have new paint on their places unless they're fully brick. And so pretty much everybody here takes good care. The streets are very wide in this neighborhood too, so parking off street is really easy in this neighborhood. Has really good mature landscaping, so wintertime it always looks a little dismal, but summertime this place is going to look really nice. And I've been through this neighborhood quite a few times, and it's a very nice neighborhood when it comes to fall time as well. Just all the fall color and the trees and landscaping they have here. Going down this way, this is Franklin Street, and 43rd is right down there, but it's a dead end, so nothing crazy going on there. We're jumping onto Franklin, which will take us back up to 47th Street. All the homes on this side of the street as well are in good condition. There's a few more cars that are parked on the side of the streets here, but this is kind of tucked away from the home, 617. So you're not going to really notice it or really have any issues with it. Couple people have their RVs out front, couple people have trailers out front with cars, and you know, it's your typical no HOA neighborhood, but it is really nice with the streets. We'll come out and we're going to jump back onto 47th here, and we're going to be heading back towards those apartment complexes. One of the places that does have an RV on it. And then if you guys probably can't see it just yet, but right behind that building, that apartment building that is right in front of us, that is College right off of there. So you do get a little road noise from the house back there if you're sitting out front. Once you get into the back, and once the trees during the summertime grow and have their foliage, the noise that's going to happen is going to be a lot less. This neighborhood is comprised of apartments, townhomes, paired homes, and single-family residential homes. And so you do have a nice variety, but everybody in here looks like they're taking well care of their properties, from the landlord situations for the apartment complexes to all the single residential homes also are in good condition. I looked at the rentals versus homeowners in here, and it's 60% homeowners, 40% rentals throughout, and so most of the rentals are going to be those apartment buildings. Just right along here is one of the new indoor storage facilities. This is a nice one, so you're not going to get any weird, ruffians out here storing their stuff. It's going to just be people who are looking for a place to be able to store their extra stuff that can't fit into their homes. And here we are jumping back onto Garfield, which is Highway 287, but Garfield is the name for our main road out here. And you can see it's got some pretty good traffic. It is 11:40 on Friday, so you know, taking a left-hand turn out of this neighborhood, you do have the light up above that does a pretty good job of letting you get out left. But some of the other entrances, there's 2 other entrances to this neighborhood where taking a left-hand turn would be a little bit more of a challenge. Let me know if you guys have any questions on the location or anything like that, and I'll compile this video together and get it sent over to you guys. Thanks so much. Here we are at 617 West 47th Street. Just looking around, driving through the neighborhood. This is a multi-unit neighborhood, so they have townhouses. They do have some apartments further up the street, the direction I'm pointing at. It is a quiet neighborhood. You hear a little bit of the noise traffic from 287, but it's not enough to be a nuisance on that side. All the neighbors here do take pretty good care of their property. Very peaceful here, at least wise. Don't see many people storing weird things out front. Down the road here, I'll zoom in. There's this house down on the corner that does have quite a few things trash wise. An old U-Haul truck that's down by the end of the street here. It's far enough tucked away to where it's not going to be something totally noticeable, but one thing I wanted to bring up. But overall, good mature landscaping, good mature trees. The house has had some work done to it, and so we'll kind of run through that as we start exploring the house a little bit more. We'll start with the outside walkthrough. Coming up the house, unfortunately, I can't really see the roof in terms of what kind of quality it is in. So we'll have to just double check that inspection-wise, and I can talk to the realtor as well to see if they have any information on the roof as well. Walking around the house, for the main part of the house, they do have all new windows, and so not sure when those were replaced, but that is another question that I had after coming here and seeing that. Looking at the windows, the trim and everything, just to show you just some small things. You know, just they tried to repaint most of the house, but there's some parts where it could definitely use some repainting at some point, and some of the trim wood around the windows would need to be replaced at some point, which we'll get to. Looking around at some of the fascia up above, on this porch side, everything looks good, but there was a couple spots where the fascia is starting to fall down on the back side, so something I'll show you when we get back there. That would just need to be tidied up a little bit on that side. They did put a new garage door in here that is fully insulated. Just some small things that came up. Like I said, they tried to repaint stuff, but there's things that have been missed. So like even here, just small little items where the paint just didn't get over it. And there's some other parts up underneath the gutters as well where it can be a little bit of a challenge and hard to show you unless you guys can see it in the video, but it's just a very light coat of this black paint that went across the boarding that goes behind the gutters. And there's some spots where they went a little too heavy on some spots. If you guys kind of see up there as well, just some areas where they had some struggles. There's some leaks coming out of the gutter as well, just to give you guys that information as well. Walking around the exterior, I mean, the brick is in good condition. I don't see any of the bricks or the mortar holding the bricks in that's fallen apart or anything like that. So exterior wise, where the brick is at, things look really good there. Don't really have any idea of what the chimney looks like when we get inside the gas fireplace. Looks like it's going to need a little love as well, so another piece just to keep in mind when we get in there. Just some other little things. Again, it was just kind of slapped together paint, and so there's parts of the gutters where they painted some of it, but they also missed certain sections as well. There's a couple gutters missing their drain pipes going down, like the one that we're looking at right here in the front. Just looks like it got snapped off at some point, so you'd want to put in some gutter runouts that go a little bit further away from the home. Here's another part where they missed some painting as well. It looks like the primer's kind of pointing through, It's a pink primer. They also have some overspray on some of the windows, at least just specifically on this part of the house, which is the covered in patio. So paint wise, you know, it could last for another 5 to 7 years, but in my opinion, I would probably get on painting it in the first couple of years when you guys get here. I mean, it's just even like this door where they painted over it, but they didn't do more than one coat, so there's parts where it's just kind of showing the underlayment paint that was originally there. So like that door paint was painted red, but used to be yellow. Backyard wise, you do have a chain link fence facing the west side neighbor. You have a 6-foot privacy fence that goes behind the neighbors. Most of them are pretty tucked up. And with the landscaping here, during the summertime, you're not really going to see them. And then on the east side of the property, you do have another very tall 6-foot privacy fence as well. Fully closed in with 2 gates on each side of the house. So plenty of room for dog to be able to roam around and hang out. AC condenser, from what I can tell, is original to the home, or maybe was replaced in the 80s or 90s, sometime in that time frame, but looks like it's ready to be replaced again here at some point. I did get to talk to the realtor a little bit this morning just to double check on the furnace. The furnace was put in 2005. It is up underneath the crawl space, so changing out filters, you'd have to go up underneath there to really get a good check and to have someone come in and service it. Oh, the door is pretty heavy. But just to give you guys an idea of kind of what the crawl space looks like, it's about a 3.5 foot tall crawl space that goes down there. And just, they have a little note there that says, don't put any hazardous flammable materials in this space. Do not damage the ground vapor barrier. So they do have a vapor barrier that is down there. So it's not just dirt underneath. But getting to the furnace filter and maintenance of the furnace can be a little bit of a challenge with it being in the crawl space. Heading over to the shed. The shed definitely needs some love at some point, but it's a good spot to at least be able to store some stuff for outside. Painting wise, the whole shed needs to be repainted at some point. Paint's peeling off at this point. They did look like they tried to roof it at one point. With the snow, I can't really tell what the roof looks like, but this is the inside. Size wise, it's probably about just shy of 10 feet long and about 10 foot wide. So there is some decent storage in this space as well. And then the second little shop shed that's attached to it as well is set up, I think, mainly for this individual. Probably did some woodworking, so he had some shelves built in there to hold wood and just supplies. Coming around back, this is where you start to see some more of the issues just on the shed wise. Just no paint along the exterior. It's all chipped off at this point. And just even looking at some of the roof shingles, it'd probably be good at some point to replace the shingles on this roof for the shed. Just to, if you're going to store anything valuable in it, you know, it'd be well worth having it set up to where it's fully solidified, to where you know that moisture isn't going to get in and destroy anything that you guys leave in there. Some of the wood is definitely decayed on the roof as well. One section I can see where they did not put drip edges right here, and you can just see where, I mean, it just flakes off. And so, you know, the plywood underneath the shed is probably starting to get a little more roughed up, and I can even just tell shingle wise on the shed, it's missing a lot of its granules on the shingles itself. So shed roof would be 100% wanting to be replaced at some point. Like I said, all new windows in the back except for the little sunroom that they have on the patio. That was an addition they added. Those are all original windows when they first put that in. So, and that room is not insulated, so it's only really good for using during the summertime. Coming back through, we're heading through the west side of the property. Like I said, both double gated. Same thing here, you know, there's just some fascia that I wanted to show you where the seams are starting to come apart a little bit. I don't think it's from water damage or anything like that, but could be used to caulk back up so that moisture does not get inside of it. We'll swing back around here to the front. In front, this tree right here in front is a crabapple tree, so it will drop fruit during the summertime. And then this is a honey locust tree that is also on the property. It's been pretty well trimmed. I would say there's a few branches that I'd probably take out that are starting to creep over the top of the home, just to make sure that the roof is safe. Concrete wise, there's a little bit of pitting in the concrete. They do use salt on this, so salt on concrete is not normally a good thing to do. It pits out the concrete over time and eats away at the concrete, and so, you know, it's more of a decorative issue than a functional issue. I would just suggest if you guys moved in here at some point to not use salt on the concrete to get rid of the ice. This is a south facing driveway, so honestly most of the time this place is going to dry off, and if there's any snow it's going to disappear over a couple days time frame. So just doing an easy shoveling would be the best way to approach it. But overall, exterior is in pretty decent shape. I would say there is some work to be done on the exterior just to really solidify it and get it to be fully, you know, painted and done correctly, versus it kind of being paint that was just kind of slapped on at one point. We'll head on into the house now. Coming into the house, everything feels nice and bright, all fresh paint in here, so you wouldn't have to go in and paint right away. Home does have popcorn ceilings. Only place it doesn't have popcorn ceilings is in the guest bathroom. The flooring is a vinyl flooring, so not the most upgraded in terms of, you know, feel, but it is new, so flooring does look good. No scrapes or scratches, easy to clean. But, you know, in terms of layout, what we're looking at now would be kind of a dining room setup that's just right next beside the kitchen. And then you also have this kind of front foyer area as well that you could turn into a TV room or something of similar, just a seating area. One thing to note is most of these areas do not have any ceiling lights, so lamps in this house are going to be the best way right off the bat to bring light into the home for nighttime. They have a couple different lights that they did put in. They do have one in the dining room, and they have some in the kitchen, but bedrooms do not have any lights in them, so lamps are going to be the best way to go there. Coming across, we're going to go into the main living room area where the fireplace is at. And coming across here, you do have your utility room for the furnace, or not for the furnace, but for your washer and dryer. They do have the hookups for that. And your water heater is also in this area as well. Water heater is newer, so I don't really note any concerns there with the water heater being an issue. Overall, the interior of the house has a great smell to it. Smells fresh, smells clean, doesn't have the old musty smell that you get in older homes. So at least on that side, home has been taken well care of on that, on the interior. So this is kind of what I would consider is like what used to be the main living room. I would say it's pretty tight with the kitchen being there. So furniture wise, it would be a little bit harder to actually be able to get furniture in here as like a TV room. And then also kind of hard to know where you would put the TV. You could put it up above the fireplace, which does have a spot, but there is no outlets except for the one that is tucked up underneath here. So you'd have to do a little bit of work to be able to bring a TV in to this room, where the other room might be a little bit easier to have a TV room set up in. So the home does have skylights in them. They're just the small diffused ones that allow to bring in more natural light. They do a decent job for the home. I'm not always the biggest fan of skylights because they tend to take a little bit more work, just making sure they're caulked and sealed correctly. So inspection wise, that'd always be good to get them to double check those skylights and make sure they were done correctly. All the cabinets were painted. Some of them don't close all the way. There's this one right here that I've tried to close a couple times. It just doesn't latch correctly. So just little small items that I know I want to try to address to you guys, just to let you know kind of what's going on with the home. Walking around, we hit into the kitchen, and then right past that kitchen is that dining room. So it's kind of a square floor plan throughout. From the kitchen and from this living room spot, you do have your enclosed patio, which was an addition done probably quite some time ago by the original homeowners. Not insulated, so like I said, like right now, because it's starting to warm up, it's feeling a lot warmer in here. And if you left this door open and let the furnace blow hot air in here, you know, right now it's actually relatively comfortable in here. But for most parts of the wintertime, I wouldn't probably ever use it myself, and I would think most people probably wouldn't use it until summertime. But all the windows are clear. These are single pane windows, so they're not insulated. So this room, again, just does get cold over time. The build quality on this addition that they added, it's pretty decent, you know. I wouldn't say it's the top-notch quality for an addition, so I would just be interested, and we'd try and look into the public records and see if this addition was permitted or if it was just added in without a permit. They do have 2 outlets in here, so you could have some utilities out here, lights, other things like that. You could put a TV in here as well. I am not sure exactly what this little piece of wood is here. I'm not sure what that access is, unless it's like a water line that I missed out front that I didn't see. Oh, okay, no, that's actually a doggy door. So just to give you a heads up, there's a doggy door that is access here. They just have it screwed down with a piece of wood so weather doesn't come into this room. Coming into the kitchen, kitchen-wise, like size-wise, I would say it's probably close to 20 foot long, maybe 25 foot long by about 6, probably about 7 foot wide. Once you kind of look at wall to wall, in between it's probably about 5 feet with the cabinetry and everything like that. All new appliances, like you guys probably saw in the description, they do stay with the home. There are no washer or dryer, so there's you guys would have to definitely go in and bring that stuff in. All the cabinets in here were actually well painted, and so things look nice here. No soft close or anything like that on the cabinets or anything like that. One thing to note as well that I kind of started looking at is these are kind of like the basic 4x4 inch tiles that you can get at Home Depot. And what they did is someone went in and took paint and kind of specced it around on these 4x4 inch tiles. This wasn't how the tile came. And so when you rub your hand across the tile, it is a little bit of a grainy feeling because the paint's sticking out above the tile. So cleaning wise, you know, my fear would be is you start cleaning or using any type of scrub brushes on this type of countertop, the paint flecks will start kind of peeling off over time, especially using waters and soaps. They do have 2 LED lights that were replaced that give the light for the kitchen. They used to have the big bay lights that used to be in here that were the fluorescent lights, so they just took those out and added 2 LED strip lights. Back up here, give you guys one last view of the kitchen. I'll swing around, just kind of show you the space of this. But kitchen-wise, it looks nice. You know, they did some updates. They at least put new appliances in, so it's very functional on that end. The fireplace is a gas fireplace. They don't have it hooked up, so I wasn't able to test it out or try it. They have the gas shut off. One thing I was going to let you know is the front glass does not stay fully closed, so someone originally was using this clear tape just to keep things closed on the fireplace. My recommendation at some point would be to get a different fireplace at some point. You know, maybe that one works, maybe it doesn't, but the inspection would allow us to know if it does or not, and if there's any major issues with anything that goes on with the fireplace. We'll swing through. This is where the pantry would be for the kitchen. So they have a couple sections here. They do have some pull-outs that pull out so that you can get to your stuff a little bit easier in the pantry. No other cabinets in here other than the pantry have the pull-outs, and so everything else is just your standard shelves in there for your pots and pans. Coming back out into the dining room. You know, this space feels nice and big and open. If I can get it to zoom, not blur out like that. So this is a really good spacing for the home. You know, this has been well done in terms of having a good amount of space in here. Like I said, that other living room is pretty tight. So if it was personally me, I'd probably put my TV room and hangout room probably in this room versus the other one, and use that other room with the fireplace more as like just a seating area and hangout spot. And you could put a TV in there, but it would just be a little bit more of a challenge. Now we'll head down the hallway to the bedrooms, but you do have a small coat closet in here. To the left is the doorbell. They kind of have a little bit of a decorative one there. Coming into the guest bathroom, single sink, but plenty of counter space. Same type of tiling that was done in the kitchen. So again, just the paint over the top of the tile could have some issues over time. They did upgrade the lighting in here as well with 2 bulbs that went in where the old fluorescent light used to be. And they also do have a skylight here as well. Again, just something we want to get checked. Yeah, the lid on this one is starting to fall off, so we'll want to get that double checked and see how that one's been put in and make sure things are looking good on that solid wise. Then for the guest bathroom, you do have a tub shower. And so, you know, it's a low profile tub, so it's a little bit easier to get into. No curtain rods or anything like that, so you'd end up having to get some curtain rods for it. The grout inside the bathtub is at the point where it's going to need some love, and some grouting will need to be done on the tiling in the bathtub. They do have a couple pocket doors as well for just linens, toilet paper, other bathroom items like that. As I'm walking around, the furnace is running well so far. The house is sitting at 70 degrees and it's been holding at 70 degrees. I'm not hearing any weird noises coming from the furnace, so that's always a good sign. It is an older furnace from 2005, but at least it's in more functioning condition, and it's no major issues that I can note until an inspector gets in. Coming into the first bedroom, all new carpets in the bedroom. Bedrooms are nice and bright with the new windows that they did put into the home. Like I wanted to say too, no lights in any of the bedrooms, so lamps are going to be kind of the way to go on these. And then all closets are about the same, even in the master bedroom, where it is about a 5 foot long by 2.5 foot deep. They do have a shelving and bar unit in it as well, so you have some space, and you can always add extra shelving in there as well at some point for a little more storage. Good sized bedroom. It looks like this one is probably about a 12 by 10 with the closet cut out. It might be even a little less than that, and that might be about 9 feet with the closet cut out. But you could fit a full-size bed in here. Queen bed would start feeling a little tight in this bedroom. And then having dressers, you know, it would just make it even a little bit tighter feeling. We'll swing in. Master bedroom is a great size, easy enough for a large bed, plus anything else you wanted in here. This is a massive bedroom. I bet it's probably close to a 20-foot by at least 15, 16 feet. So plenty of space in here. Again, all brand new carpet in here as well. New window, which brings in great natural light as well. Master bedroom faces the back of the house. They do have an aspen tree right out in front of the master bedroom, so during the summertime you wouldn't have any views of your neighbors. The first bedroom we went into is to the front of the house, and that faces south, so those rooms are going to get a little bit warmer than the bedroom that is facing towards the master bedroom, which is facing towards the north. So this bedroom will stay a little bit cooler during the summertime. Swinging in here, same exact closet as all the other ones. There is no other closets for the master bedroom, so just something to keep in mind on that side. Having dressers would probably be the better approach to be able to store all your guys' clothes in, and then having this as just kind of the hanging closet for clothes and storage. No light in this room as well. So lamps in here are going to be a good idea. They have some small settling issues that I see. Nothing major really to concern, but you do have a small little crack right here that has been caulked over and painted. So it's not super noticeable, but something that, you know, I tend to look at pretty closely. And then here's the master bathroom. Do have the walk-in shower, 4x4 tile going up 3/4 of the way. They do have a little bit of drywall above the shower. Same type of cabinetry, and so coming into the master bathroom, walk-in shower, decent base. Looks like the base was replaced. It doesn't look all grungy and gross. I would say even in this bathroom, just like the other bathroom, there's going to be some grout that needs to be touched up and cleaned up a little bit. Shower heads for both bathrooms were sitting around like the 5'6", 5'7" range. You do have the same countertops as throughout the entire house. They did have a little bit of a more updated sink as well, but the original cabinetry that's just been painted and added in. Flooring is a tile floor. Dark tile flooring. It looks good in here. And then only other thing is you do have a window that does face out to the west. I'd probably put some curtains on that or some blinds at some point, just since it is facing neighbors. They did have upgraded lighting as well, and did put a new mirror in here. And then last thing is they do have a little cubby for toilet paper. They do have internet ports in the master bedroom for internet. Those aren't really used much anymore. That was the bedroom we were just in, just straight across from the hall. And then right around the corner, same size bedroom, just one door over. Again, new windows, no lighting in here as well for recessed lighting. Same type of closet, new carpet. Nothing much to say on that side for this house. All rooms have smoke detectors in them, so nothing you have to mess with there. And then you do have a linen closet at the end of the hallway here in between the 3 bedrooms. We'll swing back out now. And the only other place I forgot to show you was the garage. overall, house is in pretty good condition. I think price point wise, they are pretty high on their price point, just with some of the issues that they have on the exterior paint and the AC condenser and some of those things. So I think they have some negotiations that they can work with. In the garage, like I said, brand new garage doors, all insulated. Looks like they also put pretty much the whole entire garage unit's new. So new lift master controller. They also have new springs in it, so garage wise, this is looking in really good shape. Foundation wise, just looking at the concrete in the garage, no major cracking in the garage across the floor, so things actually look really good stability wise for the foundation of this home. Single pane window in the garage. Cabinetry does stay. They have some shelving here, and then they do have access to the attic through the garage. Most of the windows right now do not have their screens in. They did leave the screens sitting in the garage, so that's one thing we would just request that those get put back on before closing through the inspection. And then you do have access out of the garage to the side yard. It is not fenced in, so you'd have to go in and take your mower from the garage or wherever and bring it out back to mow. And then this does go out to the front of the yard as well. And that's pretty much it, guys, on that side. You know, I have some questions for the selling agent that I'm going to ask and just get some verification on after viewing the home, and trying to get some questions answered on the roof, get some questions answered on the furnace and the AC condenser. Otherwise, floor plan's pretty well laid out, has some good space to it. Great neighborhood as well. You're close to everything. You're just on the opposite side of 29th. And so you're less than 5 minutes from King Soopers. You're less than 5 minutes to the Walmart. You're a little bit further away from the hiking trails and parks on that end, but they're only 5 to 7 minutes away as well. So location wise, it's a good location. I have no concerns with this neighborhood whatsoever. And it just really comes down to you guys seeing if this house layout would fit you guys, and if it's something that you guys would be willing to take on project wise, with the few things that I was able to see just by visually walking through, and then with whatever the inspector ends up pulling up after we get the inspection done. So let me know if you guys have any questions on that side. Otherwise, maybe we can jump on a Zoom call and go back through it one more time, so you guys can ask your questions, and we can take a little more time going through. And then last little piece is just another closet for storage in here. They did leave all the paint from what they used in the house, but just a little more storage for the home. All right, guys. Well, that is pretty much it. Let me know if you guys have any questions, concerns, anything you guys want addressed or answered by the realtor for the home. This is an open door listing, so it's a big corporation that runs and operates this home. I believe they're also the owners of it, and so they do always tend to have a little bit more negotiation room than a typical homeowner. They just obviously have a certain amount that they can go down to make it work for whatever they purchase the home for. So yeah, let me know if you guys have anything that comes up, and we'll be in touch.